behind, I think. You could tell it was extremely Russian, and so that's impossible not to get carried away with that.
Skoraki says the runner resumed his journey yesterday and plans to run all the way to New York City. The man started his run in L.A. in 2017. He was hit 3 months later.
I put a spell on you.
And it took 3 centuries, but the last witch from Salem, Massachusetts has been pardoned. Lawmakers on Thursday cleared Elizabeth Johnson Jr.'s name 329 years after she was convicted of witchcraft in 1693. They considered taking on the case last year because an 8th grade civics class researched her case and wanted to clear her name. We've got your drive coming up with the KFI in the Sky and the 101 in just a moment.
The Dodgers were down 4-0 against the Pittsburgh Pirates when Hanser Alberto stepped to the plate in the 5th inning.
And Hanser swings and he drives one deep to left field. It is going back. It is back. It is gone. Home run. Hanser Alberto, his first of the year, gets the Dodgers on the board. It is 4-1.
That began a rally that saw the Dodgers come from behind and pull ahead in the 8th, only to let the Pirates get 2 more in the 9th. Ouch. Final score, Pittsburgh 6, LA 5. Game 2 today at 7:10 with Julio Urias set to start. You can hear every play live on AM 570 LA Sports. The Angels open a road series against the Yankees at 4:05 this afternoon with Noah Syndergaard starting. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
SoCal weather from KFI. Sunny today with highs from the upper 60s at the beaches, mid to upper 70s for Metro LA and OC, low to mid 80s inland, but it looks like by tomorrow the valleys in the IE will make it into the 90s, stay that way into Thursday, then start to cool it down for the weekend. Jeff Ball, good morning. Let's look at the 101.
Well, right back at you, Jennifer. Good morning to you. And good morning to you driving here to San Fernando Valley. First, the eastbound 101 coming out of Calabasas. It's okay. It's getting slow at Balboa. I'm sure you think that's normal, and it is normal. A little slow going to the South 405. Now, speaking of the 405, if you're coming down from the 118, got off to a bad start here. What else is new about the 405 in the valley, huh? But there's a problem at the, actually the Burbank on-ramp to the South 405. There's a crash right at the end of that. A lot of fire department activity. Most of them are leaving right now. They had the right lane of the acceleration lane blocked. So it's just plain slow coming out from Roscoe Boulevard. Now the good news, if any, here, once you get going uphill and then going into West LA, you're going to be okay. Going down to LAX, that's a good drive from Sunset all the way down there. The airport's busy, not out of control, kind of a confusing place lately, that's for sure. Other than that, things are fairly normal. We've got a problem worrying about on the 605, around the 5. I'll check on that for you. And South 170 is a little slow going through the interchange, but not too bad. Jeff Ball, KFI in the Sky.
I am celebrating both National Salad and Hamburger Month by eating a Wahlburger every day with extra lettuce, tomato, and onion. Hashtag multitasking. Now your top reasons to visit Vermont.
The marketplace is open. 7 delectable dining experiences under one roof.
Number 2.
Rodney Harrington Live, August 6th. Get your tickets now.
And the number 1 reason.
No slots and giant jackpots. Come try our new Top Series progressive slot machines next to Splash Bar.
Morongo. Good times.
My name is Anthony Termino, and I approve this message.
Gavin Newsom has held public office for over 25 years. Do you feel safer? Do you like what's being taught in our public schools? Is this the California you want to hand over to your kids? Anthony Termino is not another politician. He's a businessman, father of 5, and grandson of an immigrant who fled communist Cuba to pursue the American dream. On June 7th, vote Anthony Termino for governor. This isn't about politics. It's about a better future for our kids. Paid for by Anthony Termino for Governor 2022.
Credit cards at Arco? You heard that right. Stop by a station today and take charge of the way you get top-tier gas. Whether it's cash, debit, or credit, now you have more ways to pay. Arco, quality top-tier gas for less. Now with a credit card. See arco.com for details.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. Buying a major appliance is a problem in 2022 because you're going to be paying more and waiting 8 months or more for delivery. Or, hey, you could shop where I shop, WDC Kitchen and Bath Center. WDC secured millions in inventory before the supply line shut down, so right now with high prices and delays everywhere else, there is a good chance WDC has exactly what you need, in stock, ready to deliver. To find the WDC nearest you, go to WDCappliances.com, WDCappliances.com.
How do you spot a fake Republican? One look at Greg Rath's record, and you'll see. Liberal Greg Rath repeatedly raised fees on taxpayers. Not once, not twice, Over and over, Greg Rath's raised fees on families like yours. Even worse, liberal Greg Rath's tried giving himself a fat pay raise on your dime. So don't believe the spin. Liberal Greg Rath's real record would mean less money in your pocket, more money in his.
The better choice? Conservative Young Kim. A staunch defender of taxpayers, Young Kim is standing strong against the failed Biden-Newsom agenda that's driving up costs and killing jobs. Young Kim, she's fighting to protect the border and enforce our laws. Young Kim, the conservative choice for Congress.
Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by Congressional Leadership Fund. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.congressionalleadershipfund.org.
Well, the weather's warming up and the days are getting longer, so it's time to ditch that extra baggage. Did you know that donating your old car or damaged car to Cars for Kids can take about 2 minutes? Fill out the easy forms at carsforkids.org or call them 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Cars for Kids will arrange for you to receive a tax deduction and a vacation voucher, so you'll be all set. Avoid the hassle of selling the car yourself. Just go to carsforkids.org today. And remember, that's Cars with a K.
Sunny jackpots are waiting for you at Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Join us every Thursday in June for a chance to win a 2022 BMW 540i or up to $100,000 cash. Earn entries all month long using your Club Serrano card at your favorite slots and table games. Not a member? Sign up today, and you could plan the ultimate summer road trip in a new BMW or with thousands in cash. Hot temps, even hotter prizes. Only at SoCal's #1 casino, Yamava. Details at yamava.com. Must be 21. Please gamble responsibly.
For official rules and more information about contests on this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules.
KFI.
More stimulating talk.
An iHeart radio station.
KFI AM 640, Bill Handel here on a Tuesday morning, May 31st, as we return to Handel on the news. Jennifer, Wayne, and me.
Well, we have a little bit more about the Russia-Ukraine war, and you've got representatives of a group of nations going to The Hague to start investigating war crimes in Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And of course, in the meantime, though, while this is happening, Russia is staunchly denying its troops are responsible for any atrocities like war crimes.
Yeah, of course.
Or that itself is responsible for any war crimes.
There are absolutely no civilian targets. Although you see the video that came out of Russia showing the Russian occupation of a couple of towns where you had Russian forces pointing to the apartment buildings that have been utterly destroyed. And you had the Russian soldiers saying, look at that, look what we've done. But the official Russian line is, we haven't done what he said we did. None of that. I guess fake news coming out of Russia's own military.
Well, yeah, because it was being misconstrued. They were pointing, but it was errant. It shouldn't have gone there. And actually, by them saying, look at what we just did, it was in horror.
Yeah.
It wasn't in,
But horror in Russia
accolades.
is very different.
Yeah.
People laughing, pointing, and joking. That's their definition of horror.
So here in California, there's a bill making its way through the legislature. It would give new protections for people who have to work outdoors in what they are calling ultra-high heat. There's already rules when the temperature outside gets above 80 degrees about how much water has to be made available, etc. Well, now they want to kick in a bunch of extra protections when it gets 105 degrees or hotter outside, and God bless anybody who has to work outside.
Yeah, it's tough.
This
really.
is
At 105 or greater
Okay.
heat, holy moly.
So this is what my dad dealt with his entire life, because when I was a kid, my dad was a paver. So he was sitting on the paving machine. So you're sitting at 105 degree heat plus in Reading. Then that mix is like 300 degrees.
That's lovely.
So you could only be on the paver, I forget what it was, 15, 20 minutes at a time or whatever. And then OSHA required them to have that guy get off and go sit under a tree and drink water before he could go back and do the shift. And so a lot of times they'd just say, screw it, and they'd pave overnight. So Dad spent many nights between midnight and 5 or something like that doing these paving jobs because They just couldn't let them do it.
Yeah, those pesky rules like water
I know,
being
it's
supplied to
shade,
the employees.
please.
Well, you watch. This is California. You watch. And what's going to happen is there'll be a law passed that the temperature itself cannot get above 80 degrees. Very powerful legislature.
You've got a man in San Francisco who has been sued for egregious crabbing. And I know this sounds weird, but if you've ever been on a pier and done any crabbing, people are like hawks. They will watch you to see if you've got a Dungeness when you pull up your crab pots. But this guy somehow found that he had 90 crab traps within this area right off of the coast of California where any kind of fishing is prohibited, and more than 250 Dungeness crabs from those traps were released back into the ocean, but who knows how many this guy had been able to get before this case came around.
Yeah, and these are serious fines, too.
Yeah.
This is no joke. This is not like $200 first offense. Now, it's $5,000 to $40,000 for a first offense. Now the question is, how often is this law or these fines enforced? Because rarely do they go to the maximum fine ever. But this area is so protected, is so important. It's not crabbing per se. It's being anywhere near this area is one of the most protected areas.
It's the Farallon Islands, which if people have crossed the Golden Gate Bridge, it's on the Marin side. It's not on the actual San Francisco side. It's the area under the Marin side. And it is uber protected. I mean, I can remember, because I love to crab. I know that's weird, but I love to throw the crab.
I know, on the show you do nothing but crabbing.
That is a good point.
Sorry, go ahead, Jim.
Well, no, I was just going to say, but when you go to some of these, I think it was Fort Baker, it's the pier that we used to crab off of, and when you would go, there were constantly, park rangers and stuff like that watching. And like I said, people police themselves on this. It's a big deal.
The San Francisco Chronicle is reporting that the DA says there's 365 alleged violations from this guy, and they want $2,500 for each of them, which is $912,500. They want almost $1 million.
Well, good luck.
In fines for this.
Yeah, well, like he's going to get it, but still. And that's what? It's per crab. Per crab pot is, I guess, the violation. Sure.
Right, and every day that you put one out.
All right, when we come back, I want to finish these stories, go through them as quickly as possible, and we'll get a chunk in. In the meantime, Jennifer Jones-Lee live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
A Marine from Whittier is expected to plead guilty to smuggling weapons to a powerful drug cartel in Mexico. He's facing charges on suspicion of leading a 6-man smuggling ring that supplied everything from assault rifles to machine gun parts to ammo and more. Hollywood is feeling the need for speed. There's already talk of a possible third Top Gun movie, the sequel this weekend, set a Memorial Day record when it came to ticket sales. And no buts about it. I didn't write that. Today is World No Tobacco Day. It's a time to remind everyone about the dangers of lighting up. This year's theme is Tobacco is Killing Us and Our Planet. We'll get a look at your drive on the 5 with the KFI in the sky in just a moment.
If your business has 5 or more employees and you manage to keep those employees alive and survive your business, you're eligible to receive a payroll tax rebate of $26,000 per employee. And this is not a loan. It's a refund of your taxes. The trick is getting your hands on this money. It's complicated, a lot of red tape. So let me suggest going to getrefunds.com. They are specialists in this little known payroll tax refund program. They do all of the work. You don't write a check up front. As a matter of fact, their pay is simply a percentage of the money they get back for you. And businesses of all types can qualify, including those who took PPP money, nonprofits, and surprisingly, even if you had increases in sales. And they got my business a 6-figure refund. The average client in this program gets $250,000 back. Go to getrefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button, and they do the rest. Getrefunds.com.
From the driveway.com Weather Center, sunny today with highs from the upper 60s at the beaches to the mid-80s inland. This report is brought to you by Goal Zero. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places like the 5.
You hit that yet, boy. The Top Gun Maverick is outstanding. That's all I'm going to say about it. The I-5 is looking good. You can be your own Top Gun flying through here, driving through. It's a little slow coming down from the split of the 170 down to the 134, but it's pretty good. Now, we flew over the 170 getting here. I was a little concerned. I thought there might have been a problem southbound as you go through that interchange, the 134, 101, but it looks like all lanes are open, but kind of slow from Burbank. And finally, the South 605, I was concerned about that last report. The problem is gone. It was at southbound around Firestone. So, a little slow coming out from Rose Hills, but not too bad. Don't go away. Jeff Bond, AFI in the sky.
Goal Zero, the leader in affordable home backup systems and solar generators. During a blackout, they can power your fridge, freezer, lights, Wi-Fi, TV, and more with clean power. Learn more at goalzero.com.
This report is sponsored by 1-800-NO-CUFFS Criminal Defense.
I'm attorney Darren Kavanoki from 1-800-NO-CUFFS. Can you do the alphabet backwards? Z-Y-S-W-Z. Yeah, try doing that by the side of the road. So if you get pulled over, don't wing it. Call us at 1-800-NO-CUFFS.
As parents, we've done everything possible to protect our kids from COVID-19, from using hand sanitizers to masking up. But now we have the most important tool, vaccines. They help protect our children and the entire family. And it's okay to have questions. Ask your doctor about the COVID-19 vaccine for your child, or visit vaccinateall58.com to learn more and find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
If you're suffering from stabbing pain, numbness, cramping, tingling, or burning in your feet, legs, or hands, you may be experiencing neuropathy. Neuropathy is caused by damage to nerves, and it impacts the lives of millions of Americans. If you are suffering from neuropathy and have been prescribed a medication like Lyrica, Neurontin, or Gabapentin, there may be an alternative. Highly trained doctors are using a cutting-edge treatment to slow